Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Um, in this video tutorial, we're gonna implement another type of list view, which will be generic. It's more like an advanced type of list view, which will help you do more code. Do do I'm trying to say which it will help you like do a longer list view with less code, right? Meaning that you can implement a single list tile and have a million results of list tiles on your app, which in that way we call it in that way we call it a long list, like a long list. Imagine in some sense you had 20 list tiles, or for instance 200 list tiles on your app, and then for each you have to implement an on-tab function on each and every list tile that you have, an on-tab function which will particularly trigger a function that you would have you would like for that particular list tile to do. It will be so much work. Just imagine you have 200 list tiles, and in every list tile you have to implement this, so it will be so much work. But there is a way in which we can do this with only a single list tile, and then it will work on every list tiles that your app will have in that list view. Okay, so please like and subscribe, and if you guys don't understand, you know what to do. Comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, because I'm always busy, but at least I find time to do this video series. So without anything further to do, let's get onto it. Firstly, we're gonna have to clean up our code. We're gonna have to clean up the code. I'm not gonna delete this because I'm gonna use it. I wanna reuse it. So before we get into that, there are three major steps that we need to know and we need to do before we can do our long lists. Firstly, we need to prepare the data source. Secondly, we have to convert the data source into widget, and thirdly, we use the widget children of the list view. Well, let me explain all these three steps, right? Preparing the data source. We prepared the data source that we're going to use on our list view, and then after we prepare the data source, we convert the data source into a widget, right? And then after we're done converting this data source into a widget, we use the widget children of the list view to showcase our data source, right? So firstly, let us prepare our our list. Let's prepare our data source. I mean, my list element. And I'm gonna declare a variable called item, and inside that item I'm gonna create it to a list. which will take which will take a special function which is called generate, and then it's gonna take let me just say 500, right? It's gonna generate 500, and then as you can see 500 values. Then we're gonna use our lambda expression of the fact arrow to context counter to take a counter, which will take our items. We're just basically naming each and every item that will be displayed on our list item, which will show us the number that will be next to that, which will be counter. Then we're gonna close it off. Okay, and then lastly we have to return our items. Return item. All right, now that we have prepared our data source, let me try and explain it. We declaring a list called an item, which uses a special function generate which will generate 500 elements on the list, and then we call the counter and use the fed arrow and generally call the name of each and every element that's generated item, which will also show the counter variable, right? This will show the number, meaning counter means it will show the number of that specified particular, of that particular list item on our list view, right? And then we need to step 2, we need to convert our list, our data source to a widget dot my list. Like I told you that I'm going to reuse it. Remember, my list is equals to, remember I told you that I'm going to use it. My list is equals to list then we're going to give it a variable, which I will call it list view, and then equate it to our list view. Remember, like the last time we did this, equate to our list view, but this time we're not gonna say list view, we're gonna have to say list view dot builder, which will take default parameters, which is the item builder, which will take to context, which is context, and then which will show the index, or we can say number, guys, so that you guys don't get lost. We can say number, but then let's say index. I will show you after. You can name it whatever you want, the index. Then afterwards, give it and return list. We're gonna return our list tile, so that it creates a list tile and list tile. As you know, you can decorate your list tile to however you guys would like. It's all up to you, but I'm just gonna put a title here, a title with then text, with the text, and we want our title to use our data source that we did here. So we're gonna make another variable var. I'm gonna make another variable called var, and we're gonna call it the list item, right? It's equals to, we need to call this, so I'm just gonna copy this and paste it here in the brackets and then close, and then when I'm done, I'm just gonna say list item dot index. We call our index function, which we gave here, right? Then when we're done, we have to return our list view, you have to return our list view. Oh, great. So in this video, we prepared our data here, and then we converted our data here into a widget, and then we used that widget to call it inside our list tile, as you can see. So listview.builder, it creates a scrollable linear array of widgets that are created on demand. Okay, you can hover over these things and you can read about the item builder callback will be called only with indices greater than or equals to 0 and less than item count. Okay, so now that we're done, we're gonna have to, so guys, if we try to run this, hopefully it will give us a list of 500 tiles that we generated, with name being item.0, item 1, item. As you can see, this is our list view. We can come here down there and style it, since it's in the text widget. We can style it with a text style, and give it a font size of 18, as well as color of colors dot black. I'm gonna use black this time. I've been using orange, as you can see. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Remember when I told you that if you want to create an on-tap function, if you're using that basic list style that we did before, and then you happen to have to do 200 of them, and then you were forced to create an on-tap function for each and every list style, it will be a hassle for you, because the 200 is a lot, guys, for each and every tile to write an on-tap function for each and every tile. In this way we can create a single list tile and give it a single on-tap function, which will work on every list tile here. As you can see, the number goes on and on up until 500, guys. So what we can do is that, to show you that it works, we can say okay, let me just say we have clicked on, and then let me do this, copy this here, and then put it here, and then close. Right, hopefully it will show us. Okay, basically let me try and explain what I did. That developer, let me try and explain what I did. On our on-tap function, we're going to print we have clicked on, and then it will get the number of the tile in which we clicked on, and then it will display it here. So before let's check if there's no errors, and let's check if we haven't made any. Don't see us. So can we check? Let's save it and see if it works. Okay. Okay, let us open our debug console and see. We have clicked on item 0. We have clicked on item 1. I'm gonna click on item 8. We have clicked on item 8. We have clicked on item 9. We can even scroll up to, we have clicked on item 180. As you can see, guys, it works. It works for each and every list tile that we have. We have clicked on 205. I'm gonna click on 200. We have clicked on 200. You see, guys, it works. It works for every list tile. So with that being said, peace out. Remember, if you guys don't understand, you are feel free to leave any comment below, and then also please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell icon to get the latest updates from me. See you guys later.